What's up, everyone? This is the first episode for our official CCTV podcast. I'm not sure if you knew about that.
I actually didn't know that.
But
I thought this was just a regular podcast.
No, it is. It is a very recent development here at CCTV that I've decided to make a podcast for CCTV, and any CCTV staff member or interns or volunteers can host an episode. Okay. And this is going to be the first one, and it's going to be about Black History Month since it's February. And I thought I was trying to brainstorm ideas about what we can talk about for this month. And as a Marvel DC geek, I thought, Heinz also is a huge comic nerd. Would you say?
Yeah, no, I'm a big comic nerd. I get frustrated about this, and I get super excited. Yeah, I've loved comics since I was a kid.
I'm like not too much of a nerd because I barely read the comics, but in terms of like the live action stuff, like that's I'm a nerd when it comes to like the MCU, kind of the DCU, but they're in like shambles right now, but definitely MCU. But yeah, this is the first episode for the CCTV podcast. We're going to talk about Black superheroes and Black villains for Black History Month. And let's start with our introductions. My name is Alfonso Mateo. I'm the programming and events manager here at CCTV. And Heinz, introduce yourself.
I'm Heinz. I am the door defender. I sit at the front desk and I say hello to people, and I also chase away villains. So yeah, that's my job.
It's a great intro. Tell me, or actually remind me, how you found out about CCTV, like how you started. Because I know you started as an intern, and then you just started producing stuff, and then now you ended at the front desk. And yeah, how did that come about?
So it all started. I'm out of high school. COVID, I'm not really going anywhere, but except for my job at Stop and Shop, and I'm like, I don't want to do Stop and Shop for the rest of my life, but I also don't know what I want to do if I go to college. So let me sign up for a program that I was recommended, and that program was Next Up. It was Next Up. I joined that with my friend. And I was taking a film class before that, so I guess I was really I was telling Next Up I'm really interested in film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we know just the place for you.
Nice.
So yeah, they got me this gig with CCTV. I didn't get to come in for a little bit because I wasn't vaccinated. So then that happened. But then after that, they just started coming.
So it started in 2020. And then Next Up basically connected you with CCTV.
Yep.
And now you're working with us.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's a nice CCTV origin story.
Right.
And speaking of origin stories, we're going to talk about superheroes and villains.
Woo.
And the Marvel, DC, and, I feel like you know more superheroes from other entities except for Marvel.
Yes.
And DC. So you can bring that in during this talk.
Okay.
But the first prompt is actually, before we jump into the specific superhero villain talk, let's talk about representation and why it's important to see ourselves on the big screen.
Representation to me, growing up, every kid loves Spider-Man or Batman, and I love Spider-Man and Batman. I still do.
Right.
My entire life. There's always been that when you're a child, you feel it, consciously, okay, I look up to this character, but they do not look like me.
Exactly.
They just this is, as no matter how much I really vibe with them, these characters are not like me, visually, or they're not really going through the same struggles. Yeah, I mean that's fine because it's a comic book. You know, it's fake life. Like,
Right.
if it's a black character, like they can be living like a fantastical like Bruce Wayne life too, and that's also cool to me. But
Yeah.
like getting a character like Miles Morales, it never really like when he first became a character, I was like, this is awesome, seeing a black Spider-Man. But like, it never really clicked how important it was, until my little cousin got like super excited, like seeing like there's like young children, like young black children that have like Miles Morales toys that weren't really like a thing before,
Right.
and they're just like super excited, and they know that the Spider-Man toy that they have is black, and like that they can really like like, you know,
And they can relate to the character that they're watching because
Exactly.
they see themselves in the character.
yeah.
Instead of just looking up to the same white superheroes and not really, I mean, clearly they don't reflect you
Yeah.
as a kid when you were watching those shows or
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a really good point about representation. And I feel the same way. Like honestly, I don't remember when I was a kid growing up, I don't remember watching any Asian superheroes.
Yeah.
Until like very recently. Like the big Asian superhero that we've gotten in like the MCU, I think the first one is Shang-Chi.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's
And
a
this
fact.
like what in 2020?
2021.
2020, that's that's
Yeah.
like last 2 years ago.
That's yeah. It's insane. I don't even off of the top of my head too. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of any like prominent.
Well, Wong in Doctor Strange was
Yeah.
technically the first one, but he's like he's a side character.
Yeah.
You know, like sure, he's an Asian superhero, but he's on the sidelines most of the time.
Yeah.
But we didn't get the big major like, you know, leading like Asian superhero not until Shang-Chi came out.
Yeah.
And then Miss Marvel came out like last year.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming more and more like diverse and inclusive in terms of having all different types of races as superheroes and villains. But definitely growing up, like in the 2000s, I don't
was rough.
remember any
Yeah.
one. Except for like, I don't know, that one Asian character in like the X-Men.
The
Movies.
claws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a really like the Wolverine movie that I think so.
Oh, the Wolverine Origins.
No, not
Is it?
Origins. It was no, it was called straight up the Wolverine.
Oh.
And he went to Tokyo. And
I remember that.
He linked up with I forget her name, but I actually knew about her for a while. She was pretty cool. But yeah, that's really the only one off of the top of my mind. And
But,
like,
like,
even
that's-
her, she's like a side character, like you said.
Right, and that's the issue. You can't even. She wasn't significant enough for you to like really remember.
Exactly. Yeah.
Compared to like Shang-Chi, like clearly it's like the title, you know, like
That's
the title of the
movie.
movie is
Yeah.
like the character.
yeah.
So there's no way you wouldn't be able to remember. And that's like the proper representation that I'm looking for like the Asian community.
Yeah.
And like same as you for like the black community when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And I think if we're talking about black superheroes, the first one that I ever like seen in movies was Storm. I'm pretty sure.
Storm is a big one.
Storm, Halle Berry as Storm in those X-Men movies. But yeah, and that was only one representation that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's like more and more. But then again, it's like already 2022, 2023. It's like it took this long to like have a number
Yeah.
of black superheroes or Asian superheroes.
It's definitely it is disappointing when you look at the timeline, but I can appreciate that like kids growing up now have that opportunity to just like yeah, you got a superhero that looks like you. You got a wide variety. As a kid, I think other than like Storm and like Bishop, like the only like black superheroes that I really like knew was like Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, and Cyborg, and I never wanted to be Cyborg because like Robin, he's a kid and he's like nimble. I always thought that was cool. I want to be Robin, but he's white. So
right, and that's a good point. Like I feel like there's definitely a lot more representation in animated shows, and obviously in the comics, but the most popular medium is the movies or TV shows, and that's where we're lacking the representation. But it's what is the second prompt? Oh, our favorite black superheroes in the DC or Marvel universe.
I got my list, but you
wanna
go first.
You wanna start? Oh, I can pull up my list.
Okay.
I think I have 4. I was struggling a little bit, but most of them are from the MCU and not so much from the comics. Yeah, I do have 4. I'm just gonna name all of them, and then you can react to it. But I wrote Storm because she's the OG. She was a badass in those X-Men movies. And then the next one is more recent, Makari.
Makari, that's a new name.
Eternals. I just love the way that they showed like her power, like how she's a speedster, and just the way they handled her superpowers and how they showed it in the movie was very effective.
Yeah, it was sick.
And fun fact, like Makari in the comics was a man, but they just switched up the genders for the movie.
I didn't know
which
that.
I think was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the third one that I have is, the classic Black Panther. You can't go wrong with T'Challa. And then
first black superhero too.
Yeah, in the MCU. Yeah.
In everything, he's the
first.
In
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like comics wise too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then Valkyrie. It's a fun little character.
Yeah.
Played by Tessa Thompson in the MCU.
She does a good job as Valkyrie.
Yeah,
I really like her as that character. Good. Those are some really good options. My list kind of merges with a couple of picks. So obviously, I kind of want to like break down like my love and like appreciation for some of these characters.
Yeah.
But you got Storm, obviously, right? And I kind of want to mix Storm and Black Panther in the same spot because the way I've always processed it, where when I was growing up and I first started getting into comic books, they were actually like a couple.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like the most, like they were like the most powerful like black couple ever. And then like a couple of years ago, that stopped being a thing, and that's been upsetting me like forever because I was just like, it just makes sense.
It's
like,
literally like a power couple.
Yeah.
Like if that was in the movies, they would be the power couple.
Yeah. Like like you said, it's just the power couple. Makes sense. She's a powerful queen and he's just a great king. Like it just makes sense. So
do you think they'll ever adapt that into live action someday?
I mean, if the MCU ever reboots properly, then but I know the X-Men are on their way to the MCU.
That's true.
So
that's true.
It's I have very like little doubt it's gonna happen, but I do hope for it because they are my favorite.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite comic book couples. Like, and I don't like forcing couples too much in comic books. Like I like natural writing, and that always felt like right.
Yeah, Storm and Black Panther, that feels the most natural.
Yeah.
And imagine the visuals too, like her power controlling the weather, the wind and stuff, and then Black Panther just with his strength.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Black Panther's not even the strongest one in that couple either. Right. Storm is like, that's his queen, but she's like so much like stronger, and that's like just a beautiful like. It's just beautiful conceptually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then there's a sleeper hit. I don't know if you know this character, but his name is Spawn.
Oh, I know what he looks like.
Yeah. Spawn.
Is Spawn from Marvel or DC?
He dabbles in a little bit of both. Yeah, he's his own thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Spawn. A lot of people don't know Spawn is black. and it's kind of funny because, like a lot of like white people that are like kind of racist.
Oh.
They like they think like, oh yeah, black superheroes kind of suck or whatever. Like they'll talk their shit about it. Or,
yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I'll bleep it.
Cool. They'll talk their smack about it. But like I seen this on Twitter like 2 years ago. It's just like a lot of them like finding out that this character that they thought was so cool was a black superhero. Yeah. So yeah, Spawn's up there. I just always thought he was cool.
Yeah.
And then I think I'll give this spot, like the third spot, to a DC character, Aqualad.
I've never.
I'm gonna give you one of the best like TV recommendations right now. Watch Young Justice season 1 to like 3 and a little bit of 4. Like 4 is good, but it's like it starts focusing on the wrong things, which is it starts focusing on the wrong team.
Yeah. Where is it available?
HBO Max.
HBO Max. Okay.
Because season 4 starts focusing on Beast Boy and his squad, but it's Young Justice.
Yeah.
But, right.
Aqualad, is he related to Aquaman?
Yeah, he is Aquaman's Robin, his sidekick, and he's black. He's also gay.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah, it's just like he's a really cool kid. Like he's badass.
Yeah,
like I keep cussing, but he's really cool. Like him and Robin, just like their leadership in the series is just like a really cool thing to witness. And then he becomes the leader of the Justice League once like the older members are out, and it's just a really cool.
Yeah, this sounds really like an interesting storyline actually.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I don't even want to break down because it's like even like the greater story is great, but like it's the smaller like episodes that are like the absolute like best. Like there's an episode he goes back to like Atlantis, and just like seeing him like in like these different like underwater like cultures or it's just a really good show overall. It has other black superheroes too, like I forget her name, but she is like this duo of this other superhero icon
in the Young Justice League.
Yeah,
or
Young Justice. Yeah, but yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. You grow up with the characters. Really, that's probably the best part about it. Like you watch these characters from like a young age, like 15.
Yeah.
And then they become like adults, and Aqualad's just really cool.
It's on my list now.
Yeah. After that, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit.
Well, you've said 4 now.
Yeah.
4 heroes.
So I mean, we can move on.
No, but you can. Who's your like last one?
All right, last one, Static Shock.
I know Static Shock.
Yeah, Static Shock's just.
Aren't they producing one? Isn't it in development right now?
No one really knows.
I thought Michael B. Jordan was producing a Static Shock series for HBO Max, but I think it didn't.
They canceled a lot of stuff.
They canceled a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they canceled a lot of stuff. Especially Batgirl was black for a little bit. Like her actor, if you heard about that movie.
They scrapped that
movie. They scrapped that. That's and crazy. Batgirl was black in that movie, so that's kind of interesting. I don't think a movie could be that bad. Like Morbius came out, guys. Let's be real. Like there's no way. I know.
I feel so bad for that whole cast and crew.
Yeah.
For Batgirl.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They finished it.
It was done. Yeah.
Right. And like the cast was pretty decent. Like Brendan Fraser was in it, I think.
They're always screwing him over.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton was in it.
Old Batman.
Yeah. He was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
It does suck. But yeah, Static Shock, just a really cool young black superhero. He does go under the trope of black superhero with lightning powers, but
there is a lot of that, huh?
It's way too much.
Yeah.
Even what I just mentioned before, like Storm, Aqualad has some electric powers, and he's a water superhero. Miles Morales,
Electro.
Electro. Wow, yeah. it just keeps going. Yeah,
I never thought of that.
Black Lightning, who is the mentor of Static Shock, so it's like known that they both are black superheroes with lightning powers. But
that's true.
Yeah, but Static Shock, he was one of like the originators, like, you know, first black superheroes with lightning powers. So it wasn't played out then.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. He's pretty cool. Yeah.
So now that we've mentioned some superheroes, let's talk about villains. I definitely don't have 5 because there's really barely any black villains in the movies, as far as I know. But comics wise, I'm sure there's a number. Of them, but movies, it's very. I have like 2, honestly.
I think I might also have 2.
And one of them hasn't even fully been showed.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So the first one is Killmonger. Yeah. I feel like so many people love Killmonger because he's like, some people consider him as an anti-hero because he's not really. He was doing it for like some good cause for their community. But he was just doing it in the most like savage ways.
And, and it was kind of selfish.
Yeah. Selfish ways. But his intent was like, kind of for the good to help his whole community. And not gatekeep Wakanda and its resources. So I respect that. And he was done dirty by his family too.
He was,
So I understand his thirst for vengeance. But then again, he was trying to kill the king and T'Challa. So, but he was great. It
was really, especially in the movie. In the comic, I don't know much about him at all, but in the movie, it was really just a great take.
Exactly.
Where it kind of just provided this Martin Luther King, Malcolm X kind of I don't know what the word is, but yeah. And he was more by any means necessary, but he was also kind of evil in the sense where it's he had his intentions of helping out his community, but he was also there for revenge,
exactly.
His own.
He had his own personal vendetta.
Yeah.
For the whole thing.
Yeah.
But was he the first black villain in the MCU?
In the MCU,
I mean, not War Machine was not a villain.
Yeah, War Machine was never a villain. I think that might be true.
See, even villains need representation too.
Yeah, and that's 2016. That's
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a really long time for that.
Very eye-awakening. My only second one is the big bad, Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. He's such a great character. He's such a great actor to play Kang, because it's there are several versions of Kang the Conqueror, and they're all going to be played by him. And just knowing his range with acting, he's going to kill that role.
Yeah. Ever since the moment, I remember, because, I like a lot of other people, I fall in and out of love with the MCU with each project they put out. But when Loki came out, and I'm watching these episodes, I'm like, yo, I'm having the best time of my life.
I love Loki, yeah.
And then he comes out as Kang, or not Kang then, but he's like, kill me, and then Kang will come. When that whole scene, I probably rewatched 4 times within that week, because it was just his acting in that moment really, just felt really good. Yeah. The music was perfect. Sylvie and Loki is just them just kind of thinking what do we do?
Exactly.
That whole moment was just awesome. I just can't wait to see more from him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one of the black villains that I'm really looking forward to watching. Because it's just such an interesting history with this character, and the whole concept of timelines, and how he's trying to conquer every single timeline, and destroying timelines, and like just the fact that he can jump from timeline to timeline is like, it's, I don't know, it's just an interesting concept.
Yeah. Realistically, I don't know how they win. Like, I know they beat him a bunch in the comics and this and this and that, but realistically, like, if you're King and you can see over a timeline and you see a timeline where a group of people are going to get together and try and beat you, I'm not letting them get the chance. I'm just going to just whisk away their timeline.
But I'm sure there's a catch. I'm sure there's like an obstacle for him, like not being able to jump to timelines easily. I feel like that's like a plot for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which is coming out next Wednesday.
I'm gonna miss it.
Oh, you'll be in Europe.
Yeah, I'll be in Europe.
Stay away from Twitter and social media for the spoilers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete it all.
But the because they had the premiere, I think, yesterday or earlier this week, and it was majority like positive reviews.
I'm ready.
And it's like Kang the Conqueror's big debut, so I absolutely cannot wait to see him.
I'm ready.
See Jonathan Majors play that character. But those are the only two villains that I listed.
I think I got two. One's the same as yours. Yeah, you know, obviously like Killmonger. Had a really good effect. Oh wait, maybe actually I can list three. Three. So we got Killmonger, and then a character that has always been cool, and this actually goes back to Aqualad, which is why I find him interesting. On top of that, there's Black Manta.
Oh yeah,
who's Aquaman villain, and Black Manta is actually Aqualad's father.
Oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting connection.
Yeah,
because Black Manta was in the first Aquaman movie.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that movie. Even though the first time I watched it, I fell asleep. It wasn't because it was bad; it's because I was just really tired. But that movie's pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, Black Manta is Aqualad's father. I always thought that was cool, and they had like their like dynamic of like good and evil, father versus son.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Manta is just a badass character.
It's fine. It's fine.
And then right after that, you got Prowler. Yeah. Prowler.
Didn't they tease him in one of the Spider-Man movies?
They did, yeah. They teased him as Childish Gambino, but I don't know if he'll come back for that role.
Yeah.
Because it's such a different like kind of vibe. Like I don't know if he'll like full on suit up and.
Didn't they also like hint that Childish Gambino's character was Miles Morales' uncle or something? Yeah,
and that's also a cool dynamic of the Prowlers. It's kind of the same thing as Black Manta. Like, he's the superhero's uncle and good against evil.
Yeah, but a villain. Yeah, I love Easter eggs like that they be throwing in those movies.
Yeah.
So those are your three?
That's my three. I don't really got like a special kind of list or like thing for them.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they exist.
I thought of one more who's not yet in the live action in the MCU, but I think she is gonna be in the Kraven the Hunter movie.
I forgot that was happening.
But Calypso,
that's familiar.
Is another black villain. She's her powers is a mix of like dark magic and voodoo, and she was like the love interest of Kraven the Hunter in the comics.
I gotta.
Yeah.
Let me look this up.
Search her up. But I like her because when I like see characters like superheroes or villains, I look at their like costume design and like their appearance and their powers. And Calypso's like look was just like fierce.
This is awesome.
And like her power seems like so cool, like dark magic, voodoo vibes. That I'm like really interested in seeing.
Yeah.
And she is officially gonna be in the Kraven the Hunter movie.
Interesting. I don't know how that movie is gonna go, to be honest.
I know, but I love like the actor playing Craven, so I'm gonna be seated.
What's his name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, he's really good.
It's weird because he played I'm blanking, Quicksilver.
He did play
in the
Quicksilver,
Avengers,
yeah.
but now he's playing Craven, which I think fits him because it's like savage, wild look.
And he's much older and like
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
But
But yeah, Calypso is another one.
Calypso's got a cool design. She kind of reminds me of Vixen with like
Yes,
her.
Vixen is in the DC universe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to bring her up because
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a cool number of like male black superheroes.
Exactly.
I low key need to start seeing a little more black women.
Yeah.
Because like the most prominent, like we said, Storm and Vixen,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, like I really got a thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think Calypso is gonna be the first one in the MCU. But I don't even know if that movie is directly connected to the MCU.
Probably Sonyverse.
But you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of upcoming like black villains who are men, but not so much women.
Yeah. It's just something interesting to me because not seeing it a lot.
Well, there's actually, before Killmonger, there's another one, Doctor Strange's frenemy.
Oh, Baron Mordo.
Mordo.
Yeah. He became evil out of nowhere though. He
did.
He just kind of hates like Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why he's evil, because he just kind of hates him.
But he was the other pretty big character.
Yeah.
Who's black and who's like ended up being a villain.
Yeah. I hope he gets more. Like.
Yeah.
Hope he's a prominent like actual villain in Doctor Strange 3.
Even like Asian villains too. I always just refer to Shang-Chi because it's the only show or movie that has Asian characters for superheroes and villains. But and also obviously Miss Marvel. But before those two things, like, can you think of?
It's kind of horrible because like when you really think about it too, if you are thinking about like an Asian villain, if you do find one, they probably make them like an old like kung fu.
It's
like,
always karate.
Yeah.
Like, even like that was my thing with Shang-Chi. It was like just another like martial arts like superpower, like Iron Fist. Like they're talking about Iron Fist and turning him into, because I think he was white.
He is white, yeah.
In the comics, but now they want to make him like Asian, but like I actually would rather not, because it's just another martial arts like dragon magic type powers, and like
it's offensive at it. It's literally like y'all equivalent to black people with lightning powers.
Right.
Like
right.
It's becoming too much. Like just let there be like a fucking
exactly
like the Asian Superman, like just
like I mean Miss Marvel is like not that stereotype with the martial arts thing, because hers is like cosmic, like 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 Captain Marvel powers, which is really cool, but we need more than that.
I honestly for Miss Marvel I would have preferred if they kept the stretchiness. Because the cosmic aspect kind of makes her like every other like sparkly like woman superhero.
Yeah.
Where like the stretchiness would have gave her like that like. And I hate Kevin Feige's excuse. I'm not gonna talk. I don't like Kevin Feige in general, but I hate his excuse like, well, Mr. Fantastic does
it'll
that.
be too similar.
Like Mr. Fantastic's not even in the universe yet. Who cares what he does?
Speaking of that though, I've been waiting for the official casting for
same,
but they're really taking their time with it because it's going to be such a big movie. I think their biggest like thing is like I don't think they can top, like they're thinking like, oh god, how are we going to cast a better Sue Storm than Jessica Alba? I loved the OGF4 too.
They looked really good. Even Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh
Like,
man.
Chris Evans, like you see him now, you think Captain America.
Yeah.
But back then, he actually was a
He
pretty
was
good Johnny Storm.
literally on fire, like Human Torch, like just perfection.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I love those movies. Those are really good.
It was such a good. You know, they're thinking of, I don't know if it's official, but it's a rumor. There's a lot of rumors for the MCU, but they're thinking of bringing back all those OG Marvel movies into Secret Wars.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, because that's the concept of this
Yeah.
Secret Wars, like comic.
Like multiverses and
Right, like just bringing everyone in,
everything, yeah.
like from every single timeline and stuff, which I think could work. That
Yeah.
would be exciting.
Yeah, then it'd be a cool way to bring back
Mhm.
like Chris Evans, but like not like
Yeah.
renew his
Yeah,
contract as Captain America.
Yes.
So
But the most recent rumor about the F4, the Fantastic Four, is how they want Dev Patel. Do you know who Dev Patel is?
I have no idea.
It was in Slumdog Millionaire, The Green Knight. It's like an A24 movie.
I think I know.
He was in Skins. That's where he started. But he's in the running as Mr. Fantastic. But I don't know if my source is credible or not.
We
There
will
have
find
been,
out.
a list of actors who's been rumored to play Mr. Fantastic,
Uh-huh.
but I'm hoping for Dev Patel to
So
take the role.
This
I'm
is-
gonna show you what he looks like.
bet. This is why Multiverse of Madness like aggravates me though, because of why.
That's him. I'm sure you've seen him
Well, no,
before.
if they also, I've seen him in what's the Green Knight?
Yeah, The Green Knight.
Yeah, I seen a little bit of that. I need to finish that movie.
Yeah.
If they actually give him like because the coolest thing to me when I see Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
The hair.
I hate him with like the clean shaved face. They give him like a little bit of like that silver hair. I think he would look really cool.
Oh my God. There's already a fan art of him,
Mhm.
and he would look
Yeah, he'd look
good
really
as
good.
Mr. Fan with the white like streak on the side.
Yeah,
and- yeah.
Mr. Fantastic's got a really
Yeah,
good
I
design.
cannot wait. Like I'm just hoping like they make the F4 like more diverse this time. Well, they tried that in the remake.
Yeah, but they were
It
like stupid about it.
did not work out.
They were stupid about it because they made Michael B. Jordan this really white girl's
Yes.
brother, and like she had a super black dad, and it didn't make sense. Like it just,
Yeah, it was. Oh,
and then that
man.
movie itself was a disaster on top of that bad
That movie was
character writing.
tragic.
So yeah, but hopefully they can make it work because I mean, like even the OG movies like Jessica Alba is not like if I'm correct, she's not like white, isn't she like some type of Latina?
Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is half white, half Latina.
Yeah,
but she's
so-
very white passing.
She's very white passing.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, they can easily like cast any like race ethnicity for those roles.
Especially since I did not mean to but especially since if like we haven't seen the Fantastic Four in like just media in general,
Yeah.
like even in comic books, like they're barely around. We haven't seen them for a while. So if I'm not opposed to like getting a different like look for these characters. Because we just haven't been seeing them in general. So, like, any way I get to see these characters, I'm going to appreciate it regardless as long as it's handled with care.
Yeah.
And they don't, like, OD it either. I hate race changes.
Not like forced.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate race changes that are very, like, oh, but look, now he's black and he does this. And, you know, he's very, like, like,
I agree.
I hate that stuff.
I agree. Well, let's go on to our last prompt.
Oh, boy.
So we can wrap it up for this first episode. Black superheroes and villains that we're hoping to debut in the MCU or DCEU, or just a character that you're excited to see if they're like coming up. Like,
I got
like
mine.
Kang is basically here.
Yeah.
For me, I guess I'll start Spectrum.
Spectrum. Is that DC?
No, it's Marvel. Captain Marvel Monica Rambeau.
Uh-huh.
I think she's gonna be Spectrum or Photon.
Yeah.
I don't. She goes by different names.
Yeah, it's a bunch of names.
But I'm not sure like which one. I think it's Spectrum. But I can't wait for her to like fully, because she got her powers in WandaVision. And I can't wait for her to like get her costume and everything. So I can wait for her. And then again, Kang the Conqueror, Calypso, and well, the young Avengers. There's Patriot.
I don't know, because every young actor that the MCU's getting right now, they are underperforming for me. Like, I did not
even
like...
Ironheart.
Ironheart is
Riri
different.
Williams
That's different. She did a
one.
really good job.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah. I like Riri Williams, Ironheart.
But Isaiah Bradley and America Chavez... Also, the concept of America Chavez, I do want to call out for being a little racist, because it's...
Expand on that.
So, like, just put this into perspective, right? She comes from a different dimension.
Right.
With
two mothers.
Like aliens. Right? Where they
Oh.
all speak Spanish. And for some reason, her name, like, while she was in this dimension where America did not exist, her name is America Chavez.
I see your point.
Chavez, the most, like, common, like, Hispanic name.
Yeah. I see your point.
But, yeah.
I feel like they're trying to, like, rebrand, America and, like, give that a different image when you think of America as America Chavez. But I see your point.
Yeah. I mean, it's really her actor at this point. Like, I think she underperformed in the movie because, like, or maybe not underperformed, but, like, the stuff that they were giving her was not it.
Yeah.
Like, she gave a lot of, like, Disney, like, Nickelodeon faces where, like, she'd just be talking and be like, well, but, like, it's just, like, really, like, Disney Channel-esque, like, acting.
I see that.
I've seen like, interviews with the actor. Like, she seems capable of, like, acting in a very, like, a normal way. So maybe it was just the script. I don't like that movie in general, but yeah.
I just remembered another character that I really, like, enjoyed, but maybe because I'm biased to the actor who plays him, but Hawkman in Black Adam.
Yeah, he was good.
His costume was, like, so dope. Aldous Hodge, the actor who played him, I love him, but I can't wait to, like, see more of him. Even though I didn't like that movie, I loved him.
I thought the movie was fun. Emphasis on fun, not good. I thought it was fun.
It was like just another CGI fest.
Yeah,
It was just.
It was like fun to laugh at, because I wouldn't say watch it without company, because then you're like sitting there, you're just like, what am I watching?
Exactly.
But with company, like with some friends that like also know that it's stupid, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I
think the other female character in that was black.
Yeah, she was.
Her name is it Tornado?
Cyclone.
Cyclone. Yeah. Same.
Spinny stuff.
Yeah, same weather stuff. But yeah, those are other black characters that I enjoyed.
Yeah. I think what I'm super insanely excited for, because DC's been making the weirdest choices recently, but James Gunn just announced a couple of projects that they're working on for the future.
Yeah.
And one of those projects are Lanterns, where it's gonna be like a buddy cop TV show of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. And me hearing that out loud was just like the coolest thing.
I know Jon Stewart is black, but is Hal Jordan?
Hal Jordan's white.
Oh, okay.
But he's like the face of like Green Lantern. Like he's just like a really cool character. But
I like that concept a lot.
Yeah.
It can be like an easy like hit.
Exactly. Like if they do it right and they handle it with care, it's gonna be good.
Didn't he announce like a black Superman too?
They did, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, a lot of people do not like the idea.
So my thing is, I like, so for Black Superman, I like the concept of it because I've known about it for a while when I like, grew up like reading comics. There's like I don't know what Earth he's from. Maybe Earth 2, I think. Earth 2 Superman. He's black, but he's a different like person. He's a different man. I don't like the concept of people like when this black Superman already exists. I don't want my first experience for if Miles Morales makes it live action. I don't want like a black Spider-Man to be black Peter Parker. I want it to be this black superhero I've known for a long time.
Right.
And finally adapted.
Who was actually in the comics.
Right.
And yeah.
Because then I also feel like it's kind of like, because people...
It's like a little lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy, and people also like hate watch things. So it's like, I feel like they're kind of trying to like, they want people to be mad, so like they kind of just can't, you know... Like, they'll be like, oh, well, you know, you can't be mad about this, or because you're wrong about that. And it's like, there are people that are wrong about, there's people that are really wrong.
Yeah.
But like, then where does that put me as a black man that's like, you know, that knows these characters? Like, I don't want to see Black Clark Kent. I want to see, I think his name is Val-Zod.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a Z in there. There's a Z in that name. I remember. But yeah, good point. I also can't wait for those projects.
Yeah, I can't. I'm excited for that. That is like the top of my list because like I was watching it and I was like, I heard Supergirl movie and it's gonna be like kind of like psychedelic, and I was like, oh, that's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
And Superman movie, yeah. And then a Batman movie where he gets a Robin.
Yes, I actually shout out to Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, a black woman as Catwoman. Well, Halle Berry was Catwoman too. Yeah. But for like just, you know, present timeline, Zoe Kravitz, I love her as Catwoman. She did a great job, yeah. I love the Batman movie by Matt Reeves. Movies, yeah. It's like, perfect. I'm not going to compare it to Christopher Nolan's because definitely different vibes, but I enjoy the darkness and grittiness of this Batman that we're in right now.
Yeah, and the best part about it is that movie is gonna keep on, like, that series is gonna keep on going while the DCEU works on their own Batman as well. Yes,
I think they're calling it like Elseworld.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which works.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm ready for that. The DC projects got me hype right now.
Yeah, they needed to reboot the entire thing.
Like, just stop trying to compete with Marvel. That's their thing.
Believe it or not, I am more familiar with DC characters even before the MCU was created. Because, I mean, Superman was more popular. Batman, The Flash, those were just like, at least for me when I was growing up, those were like the popular superheroes. Yeah. Like, no one knew about Iron Man. No one knew. Captain America, Thor, okay. But DC characters were like it. Yeah. And then for some reason, they just couldn't get it together in the DCEU. Yeah. But I'm glad that they're starting again. But yes, to wrap it up, thank you for being a guest on our very first CCTV podcast episode. And, you know, talking about black superheroes and black villains for Black History Month.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
This was fun.
If we're forgetting like a famous black superhero or villain, let us know. Comment on wherever you see this. But yeah, hopefully you gain some knowledge about, you know, the importance of representation, the importance of seeing ourselves on the big screen. It's about time, you know. Yeah, it's getting there, but I think it's ridiculous that it took this long.
It took a really long time.
Like, if you think about the MCU, we're about to be in phase 5, like, and we're still just, you know, starting to get a lot of diverse like superheroes.
And they're still like kind of figuring it out, because there's some movies where like characters are casually, you know, of a different race, and there's some movies and shows where they make it like way too apparent that they're not a basic white person. Yeah. But representation is representation nonetheless. And if you enjoy something that someone may call bad, if that's what you enjoy it, and more power to you.
Don't get shamed.
Yeah,
into not liking it.
Yeah, it's just great. I'm glad that there's, you know, all different types of superheroes for you know, people just to grow up with.
Yeah. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed our talk, our very nerdy, geeky talk about comics and superheroes and villains. But yeah, stay tuned for whatever the next episode is. And yeah, thank you. Thanks, Heinz.
No problem.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
See ya.
Woo, see ya.